Republicans claim that you did the same thing and got off scot-free. Why did your friend Jim Comey let you off so easy?
That's a really good question. I can't figure that one out. I do think it's odd, let's just say, to the point of being absurd, how that is their only response. They refuse to read the indictment. They refuse to engage with the facts. There's nothing new about that. And what they refuse to admit is, this is on a track about him, not about anybody else. No matter how much they try to confuse people and how much they try to, raise extraneous issues. And it's going to be fascinating, I guess, in a bizarre and sad way, to watch them spin themselves up. If you watched any of the news programs this weekend, their efforts to defend this man are truly beyond anything that I ever thought possible in our country. It is so profoundly disturbing how this could have been the break. This could have been the opportunity to say, thank you so much for everything you've done for us. We really appreciate it, But this is kind of serious, and so we're not going to, continue to defend you. But no, they're all in again. That's what the psychology of this is so hard for me to fully grasp.
So we've talked a lot about Hillary Clinton this morning, and that was the former Secretary of State on Monday night, sharing her thoughts on Republicans who continue to defend Donald Trump, that this could be the opportunity for them to break away, and they just don't seem to be taking it.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, again, we've talked, and for people who haven't seen what we've said so far, it's pretty straightforward, Willie. You've got all of these Republicans who are blabbering and trying to, throw up smoke screens. None of them are saying what Donald Trump did was right. None of them are saying what Donald Trump did was legal. None of them are defending anything Donald Trump did. You have a lot of people who are saying, well, what he did was bad, but what about Hillary? They may not even get to what Donald Trump did was bad, what about Hillary? But I think that's the most telling thing. Nobody's defending him because what he did is laid out an indictment, and it shows that he mishandled. He stole nuclear secrets. He stole some of the most important secrets and just threw them all over his place. But it's fascinating. Again, it's more of a cell phone when they're trying to own the libs because, James Comey said no reasonable, rational prosecutor would bring charges against Hillary Clinton. And the Inspector General of the Justice Department basically said the same thing, said Hillary bent over backwards in the emails, if you look at them, to not reveal anything. And he investigated the missing emails, said there's no evidence from all of the evidence that he looked at that they were doing anything other than what Hillary Clinton said she was doing there. So, okay, you can say, well, that's the Obama administration. That's Comey, who turned the election over to Donald Trump by that letter 10 days beforehand, and then another letter 2 days beforehand. But let's just say, they're all biased. Okay, well, was Jeff Sessions, Donald Trump's first attorney general, biased?
He had all the opportunity in the world to
Donald Trump in 2017.
jump in there.
Donald Trump promised to indict her, to bring a special counsel, indict her throughout 2016. He backed off because he was told there's no indictment to be made.
He had 4 years to do it.
He brought it back up in 2017. And Jeff Sessions, Don McGahn, everybody, you got nothing here. You've got no indictment. There's nothing. She did nothing to be indicted over. Bill Barr, the same thing. Bill Barr didn't bring any indictment against Hillary Clinton. They didn't talk about a special counsel because, again, they came to the same conclusion that Comey came to, that there was nothing. But again, if you're going to say there's a two-tiered justice system, well, you're actually attacking Donald Trump's DOJ, who actually had 4 years to do something, to do anything. And they didn't. And they didn't because Don McGahn and others went to him and said, you got nothing here.
For all the years of lock her up chants,
Oh, my God.
Donald Trump and his administration didn't deliver anything on Hillary Clinton because there was nothing worthy of an indictment. That's according, as you said, to his own Justice Department, concluded a review, 3-year review of what Hillary Clinton did with her server. It was irresponsible, yes, but they said there was no evidence of deliberate mishandling of classified information on the part of Hillary Clinton. And the reason, as you say, they have to jump to Hillary Clinton, hoping that it resonates with some members of their base, and it still does, that she had the server. They talk about bleaching, which is the name of an app. Nobody bleached anything in the literal sense, is that when you look at this indictment, as Bill Barr himself said a couple of days ago, if this indictment is true, if the evidence holds up, Donald Trump is toast. That's his word. That's Bill Barr's word, his former attorney general. So this is a very difficult, if not impossible, set of facts to defend if you're a defender. So you have to jump past the evidence and go back to Hillary Clinton as a desperate act.
And the distraction is that Hillary Clinton committed a crime. Mike Pence or someone else, Joe Biden, must have committed a crime. Look, it's the same thing. Well, it's not the same thing.
Well, it's not even close. And it is a constant attempt to distract, as we always say.
And to equalize the actions of these people.
But there is no defense of what Donald Trump did. And this is what they're admitting by talking about Biden or talking about, Pence. You could talk about Pence. But what Pence did is not the same thing because he didn't obstruct. What Biden did is not the same thing because he didn't obstruct. In fact, they said, hey, we've got documents. You need to come get them. Mm-hmm. But with Donald Trump, again, you've got people like Barr saying this. Jonathan Turley, who has defended Donald Trump every step of the way over the past 5-6 years, said this indictment's really bad.
Yeah.
In fact, if he's charged on one count, that could constitute a life sentence in jail. And he has, 37 counts?
Yeah, 37.
You've got the National Review. You got Andrew McCarthy, other people, again, who've defended Donald Trump through impeachment, defended Donald Trump time and time again, who are saying this is really, really serious stuff.
Former